What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be taking down stage 100 of STR Kid Buu's Easy A here. I kind of decided that the way I want to do these videos from now on with Easy A stages, just because there's such different content than they were before. Actually, before I get into that rant quickly, obviously we're going in with the Pure Saiyans team here. We've got a lot of strong AGL characters on here. The reason that I built a Goku's family build here is just because the 4th anniversary LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku here is currently boosted, right? Because he's one of those anniversary characters that in the lead up to the anniversary they were giving, you know, extra boosts to. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to be a one turn here. I'm getting both the Gokus right up front. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to one-turn this. You can see the true power of why I've built this team I built right off the gates. But yeah, I want to start doing these videos at stage 100. These events came out last night, and I just grinded all the way to stage 100 in this one before I went to bed, so I'd be ready to do this video today. But it isn't too difficult to get to just like stage 100 in basically every single Easy A now. Well, obviously aside from the LR ones, but all of the regular TUR ones. I feel like it's just kind of pointless for me to do the level 30 clear, showcases or whatever. I think level 100 makes a little bit more sense just because, everybody can kind of clear the first 30 stages in their sleep. There's not like any major strats or anything. You pretty much just got to bring units that are on the categories and you should be decent. But obviously, the important strats for every stage where they get a lot more, specific is going to be up at the harder levels where people are trying to grind hundreds and hundreds of stage out of this for Zenny. So I am going to, probably just continue to do that. I don't know if I will spend too much time doing team building guides. I think I'm probably just going to let the showcase of me doing the fight a couple of times kind of help the team speak for itself. But I think one thing that I am going to do, which we'll do at the end here after we go through a couple more of these stages, is I will talk about some of the utility units that you can use. Just as a quick reminder of a couple of those units that aren't on the categories that you can use in a lot of different Easy A stages just because of something in the character's passive that allows them to be, viable even if they're not on a leader skill. We're getting supered here. Who's getting supered? Wow, we're actually finally to the point where we're taking a little bit of damage, but as you can see, that was before we even supered. And obviously this guy is someone that gets a massive amount of his defense from super attacking. If that was a red zone super, that would have instantly depleted our entire health. So the fact that it didn't even do 100k yet means we definitely have hundreds of levels to go before this team is going to be, threatened at all. The other thing that's kind of funny is that Spirit Bomb Goku is basically the weakest unit on the team. As far as ability to tank slot 1 super, I would say he has the least ability to do so of every unit I have on the team right now. So, yeah, just goes without saying how easy these stages are. I mean, I remember back in the day when Easy A's were actually a difficult thing to pass. That was like the end game content at the time it came out. The normal Easy A for that very first Easy A, he's actually right here, the Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku. That was like one of the hardest events in the game when it dropped, and a lot of people actually just didn't have enough, what was it? I think it was Tech Resurrected Warriors was the, like type effective categories, and unless you had like Int Angel Golden Frieza or the Dokkan Fest like Tech Golden Frieza, you were gonna have a rough time in there for sure. So, yeah, but Easy A stages just are not that way anymore. You can kind of just do them in your sleep, unfortunately. Oh, nice, another double Goku turn. I'm actually going to take it off auto so we can make sure both of them have links active. That way we can potentially get another one turn clear here. Oh man, the key dropped really bad. Oof. That's no good. And we didn't counter the super. Okay, so this is turning out not to be as good of a turn after all. Whoops. That's all right, that's all right. Well, we can show, how we can hang in there when we're being weak rather than all of our characters doing the strongest things that they have capability of, right? Okay, that's good. The additional definitely helps. So yeah, for right now, I think that this is probably the fastest team. Granted, you do have all of Pure Saiyans to work with. I think after this run right here, we'll jump into my box. That way I can just kind of show off, you know, the team I've built versus the characters I have available. You know, so obviously you're going to want to be targeting AGL. Type Advantage just helps you do a lot more damage and obviously have better defense in these stages. So if you have the ability to go for a lot of Type Advantage characters and it makes sense, then you probably should. So there are, you know, basically most of, and what I'll show in my box too, is that most of the best AGL Pure Saiyan cards are actually on this team. They're basically all already here. So yeah, definitely don't have to worry about that too much. But yeah, even though Pure Saiyans is like a big giant box, I think this actually is the quickest strat, simply because of those boosted Gokus. You've seen how much damage they can do in one roll. It is definitely a lot. I did try using like a Super Saiyan 3 Goku team. The AGL Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I tried using his team, and I had because the Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on Accelerated Battle. He was actually on that team, but yeah, it just wasn't quite as good using him as lead because he is one of the like lowest damage dealing characters on the team. So it just took a little bit longer. Obviously, no threat of dying or anything. So yeah, if we go ahead and sort by Pure Saiyans and then come over here to team building, we can kind of see like, okay, here, I'll even sort it by AGL. So that you can see, like, I basically picked the best ones. There's not a lot of, tough cookies, beyond what I've selected. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of interesting. Okay, I guess we'll jump in for one more. So yeah, I think the only other card that's on Pure Saiyans that, has a boost right now is the 3rd anniversary LR, Int Vegito, or the Int, you know, Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito, and I guess the Gogeta would as well because it's just Angel Goku and Vegeta, but it's also physical type, which has type disadvantage here. I don't know if that would be the smartest play, and then obviously neither of those cards are on Goku's family. That's why they're not on the team. I did have the Int Vegito on the other team with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but again, like I said, the full balance of it just wasn't working out. It would be neat. Honestly, it could be a strat for me to just find some generic Pure Saiyan leader so that I can literally put all of them on there. But again, the problem is I'm using one of them as a friend lead too, so that's getting me a lot of extra damage. So I'm not sure what actually would be the best strat, because if I find some random non-boosted Pure Saiyan leader and my team only works with that and not one of the sub-leader skills of the boosted characters, then that means I can't bring one of the boosted characters as a friend lead, and that would be one less of them on the team. So then altering the team so that I can get one more of them on the team doesn't make any sense, right? Because if I were to use a random leader, then I get 3 boosted characters, because I get one of the Super Saiyan 4 Gokus, and then I get one of the Int Vegetos and one of the physical Gogetas on the team. So then now I have 3 characters, but one of them has type disadvantage and one of them is type neutral, versus only 2, but then 2 of them are type advantage, right? So I don't know. I think it works out the best this way. I haven't been having any issues with it so far. Okay, so before we finish up the video here, let me switch over to the wiki here. So I decided to create a little box. I absolutely love this box feature on the Dokkan info website. Here under the users, my user tab, if you're logged in under a Twitter account. It's really cool. So this website, you can actually make a lot of these, because it's judging which of the versions you're on, and then it also judges the Twitter account that you're logged into. So if I want to create like a new box of characters and make a new box, then I can just log into a different one of my Twitter accounts, and then I'll have a new box for that account. so I can like keep separate ones. And then if I run out of Twitter accounts, I can just switch the language and do the entire thing for all of them again, and have a bunch of different boxes filled up. So I have a couple of different ones. One of them is like every unit in the game I'm missing. One of them is like every unit in the game that doesn't yet have a 200% lead. And then I just made a new one now, which I'm going to use frequently to reference for easy A's and add characters to it as they release over time, which are basically going to be like utility units. So these are what I was talking about here earlier, the units that, you know, don't have any, like, any restrictions or needing to be on a team, needing to be on, like, a leader skill because of what their passives allow them to do, right? So for this EZA specifically, for the STR Kid BUU, I believe the only one of these that's going to be, like, relevant is the 17 and 18, right? So obviously Caulifla is going to be providing the full dodge if you have a Universe Survival Saga or Pure Saiyan enemy. That's not the case. And then Goku gets 70% damage reduction with movie bosses or Pure Saiyan enemies, and obviously we don't have either of those. The androids are always going to be able to do their Ghost Usher, so they're never going to be like not an answer basically. And then BUU has the ability to revive the same way as Cooler, starting turn 1. So both of these guys could be potentially used for their revive. I don't know about this stage being one of those ones you would want to run these guys on. Maybe if you get super, super high up there, and you're running a team that has a bunch of those boosted characters so you can finish the entire fight in like 2 turns. But then you just need like one other character to go like slot 1 or to help you get tank hits or whatever. These could be a decent option for you. Just because if they're just going to get hit once and die from one normal because they're not on like any effective categories and the enemy's gotten so strong, then these can actually kind of help you out there. Basically, once you get... These two are only relevant to put on the team once all of your regular, normal category, you know, included characters are starting to take damage and you're starting to, like, lose on your own. Then these ones are smart to put in there, because if they're off category, they're definitely going to die immediately. If the characters on category that are supposed to be doing well are not anymore, right? So these ones maybe later in the fight. And then also keep in mind, if you put both of them on the team, that's not a good idea because only one of them can revive. You can only get 1 revive per fight, and then you are hosed, right? Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. The only one I would really recommend here is the Android 17 and 18 if you needed them. Okay, the last thing that I want to do really quickly is go over Kid BUU's kit. Okay, so here, post EZA, he's got a double 170, full 170 lead for Battle of Fate or Majin Buu Saga. That is definitely not bad. So at the beginning, he's got Key 3, 250% to stats. He gets an additional attack and defense 40% with each attack performed up to 160. So similarly to how he did before, just increasing the numbers here. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. Great. This is actually written the proper way. Because, you know, it could also say launches... or it could say high chance of launching an additional super attack. That's bad, because then if the high chance doesn't proc, there's no attack there at all. Whereas this one guarantees to launch the additional, and then it just has the high chance of being a super. The reason that affects something is because when he launches this attack, regardless of if it's a super or not, it's an additional chance to proc his hidden potential system additional. So that is good that that's written that way. 50% chance to crit built in, 20% damage reduction built in, and then he gets an additional 120 stats and 30% damage reduction, probably every time you use him, because I imagine you're going to have a full team of Majin Power or a full team of Majin Buu Saga, basically anytime you're using this guy. So he's got basically 50% damage reduction and then an additional 120 stats to add to all of that. Then he gets an additional defense 100% and damage reduction 20% before the character receives an attack 6 times in battle. So this guy's just going to be a massive tank. He's got 70% damage reduction before he receives 6 attacks. So this is kind of interesting. You can throw him in the first slot on turn 1, take 5 attacks and whatever, and then get rid of this extra ability that he has, right? Or you could hide him in slot 3 and make it so that it takes 9 turns for him to receive the 6 attacks over time. It's kind of... just depends what the moment calls for, but it's really nice that he has this kind of ability, right? Which can, if you need it, be just balled out on turn 1, or it can be saved and held for a later point in the fight, right? To deplete. Recovers his 20% HP at the end of a turn attack was received, nullifies unarmed supers for 3 turns, and then great chance of nullifying them after the 4th turn. What can even else be said about this guy? He is so good. You know, so far using him, I've noticed, not even on a full 200% team, that, you know, using like his own leader skill and stuff, he's able to dish out like, you know, 10 million and then 18 million and then 22 million attack stats and stuff. It's quite insane, which obviously is because we'll skip down here. His super attack effect, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage, and he has a high chance of stun. His active skill is really cool. When there is a Majin Buu Saga enemy, or when he receives 6 or more attacks in battle, he gets 20% stats. So very good. We do love this BUU. I guess we can go over like his links and categories too. So links more than meets the eye, brutal beatdown. He is a big bad boss's character, that's very good. And then Majin, infinite regeneration, while standing tall in fierce battle. Most of these links are always going to be active if he is playing alongside all these BUU cards here, right? As you can see, he has tons and tons of good linking partners. Like a solid 20 characters that have at least 4 links with him, so definitely not bad. And then he is on quite the plethora of really good categories too. Like, yeah, wow, like obviously Majin Buu Saga tops the list. Majin Power isn't too terrible right now, there's been a lot of buffs. Worldwide Chaos is pretty good, Uncontrollable Power is good, Demonic Power is ridiculous, Transformation Boost is good, Accelerated Battle is good, and just got a new leader with the Glorio. Yeah, like there is a lot going on here. Definitely good. Alright, so yeah, that is STR Kid BUU. Let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, curiosities. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.